All right, we're going to turn now to a current event happening next month in Rock Island. Project Now is a local nonprofit dedicated to rooting out poverty and helping provide opportunity, whether that's through early childhood education, utility assistance, or housing. And coming up in August, Project Now is hosting its second annual Housing Summit. For $15, you'll get breakfast and you'll learn about our QCA emergency shelters, predatory lending, home ownership, and a whole lot more. And this year's speaker has a really unique background in housing. It's Reverend Faith Fowler, an author who has worked on tiny homes that has revolutionized a Detroit neighborhood. Reverend, thank you so much for being here with us. Can we start off with these tiny homes in Detroit? What do they look like?
Sure. Well, they're all different. You'd be surprised if you drove through the neighborhood. We have a Victorian, we have a log cabin, we have a sort of skyscraper. We have all different varieties on purpose. There's not one of them that looks the same inside or outside.
Hmm. How are these tiny homes better able to reach community members in need? What's the plus of these?
So the idea is that people who are low income, some of them who've been homeless or incarcerated or coming out of foster care, or some are seniors, they never would qualify for a mortgage and hence they never have an asset. So we've set up a program where people who are low income can qualify for this. They never have to have a mortgage. They pay a very small amount of money per month in rent and participate in a program, and after 7 years they own the home. So they move in, perhaps they don't even own a bicycle, and in 7 years the first two homes were valued at $70,000 and $90,000. So it really is economic mobility for them as well as residential stability.
I'm really curious about how you think something like that, in Detroit would translate to a community like the Quad Cities and maybe putting up tiny homes around here.
Right. So it is an idea that does work in other regions. Obviously, you have to modify it to be specific to that region. And I'm just starting to do the research on both the number of homeless people you're seeing there and the resources you already have in place. You've got good organizations doing great work already. Obviously, they don't need me. And this is just one solution, but it at least will cause people to think about whether it would work and whether something akin to it would work in that area.
So, what will your
Right.
message be at our local housing summit in August?
We'll be talking about what has worked, what we've had to, tweak a little bit, what the value of it is, not only to the people who become homeowners, but the larger community around it. Usually with programs for unhoused people, you get a little bit of NIMBY, not in my backyard, going on. That has not been the case with this project. In fact, the community has embraced it totally, is excited to see new housing stock and to repopulate an area that has, suffered a big loss in neighbors.
Hmm.
So I think that's worth telling and trumpeting because with a growing number of homeless people, we need to try some new things.
Yeah, always need to be able to look and find new solutions. So, regardless if someone can
Right.
make it to the summit or not in August, what lessons do you want viewers right now to take away when it comes to addressing local housing issues?
Well, I think everybody, it's the American dream. First of all, it's our piggy bank, right? It's what we lean against when we're in rough times or when we die and we want to leave something to our kids or grandkids or somebody else we love. So it's more than just a building or a structure. And indeed, it's a home in terms of security and privacy and dignity. During COVID, safety, right? You weren't sharing a room with 70 or 100 other people. Um, so to start thinking about what a home has meant in your family and what it might mean in another family that hasn't had a way or an option before.
It's a great message, uplifting our community uplifts all of us. Reverend Fowler, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. We look forward to welcoming you to town coming up next month.
Th- Thank you, and thanks for working with me through all the issues.
Reverend Fowler will be in town next month for a book club in Moline and the Housing Summit in Rock Island. And you can find all the details for both events at WQAD.com underneath the As Seen on TV tab.